Okay, so I am going to get started in a few minutes. A couple of people are jumping on now. And I'm also waiting for the app to download. And whenever that downloads, then I will be able to use it. But it's kind of hard to do this with a cell phone using Periscope and trying to use my phone for augmented reality as well. So I'm having to wait for this device to load. But I want to go ahead and get started by, first of all, talking about augmented reality and kind of explaining what it is, or more so how you can access the triggers that we have with AUGThat, and basically how augmented reality works no matter what app you're using or what tool you're using. So essentially, you will have a trigger image, and then you will have an app that you will use on your phone. I'm going to be using AUGThat today, so and it's AUGThat, and I'll show you how to get to that in a few minutes. But really, any app you use, typically you'll have a trigger image that you scan, and then you will see the image come up, or the augmented reality object come up once you scan the image. So let me go ahead and flip my screen to Thursdays. We have our AR for Learning Twitter chats every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, and this is our first augmented reality, or sorry, AR for Learning Periscope. So never done this before. This is my first time. So after I do it, if you guys have any suggestions or tips that you would like me to add in, then let me know. So Periscopes are going to be every week at 6 p.m. and then our Twitter chats are going to be at 8 p.m. Central. And in case you are not familiar with AUGThat, the Twitter handle is at AUGThat, capital A-U-G. The website is augthat.com, and then once I show you guys how AUGThat works, if you're interested in getting more information like demos or anything like that, then you can email Lisa at augthat.com, and I'll go ahead and show you guys this again at the end once I'm finished. So while I'm waiting for the app to download, in terms of the Twitter chat, I want to go ahead and show you some things that Heidi and I are going to be sharing out. So we have a resources page that we're going to, sorry, let me reposition my camera here. We have a resources page that we're going to be tweeting out. I think I've actually sent it out a couple of times already. So it'll have all the questions, so you guys can check that out beforehand, so you'll know kind of how it's going to work. But then at the bottom, we have a ton of resources that Heidi worked really hard on putting together from a bunch of different augmented reality apps and different resources that she's put together. So like I said before, you have a trigger image, and this is one of them. And again, I'll show you how it works soon, but just giving you an idea. This is a trigger image. And then there are a couple of the other websites we are using, or resources we're using. Quiver Vision. This is another map. There are things on Teachers Pay Teachers about augmented reality. Let's see, Color Alive. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but there are tons of coloring books that were created with augmented reality, which you can get at the store for like $3 or $4. They're really cool, and you can use those in your writing lessons. So at the bottom of this resources page are tons of different trigger images and apps that you can download to play around a little bit more with AUGThat. At the very bottom, we do have a challenge for you guys to complete on Thursday, and I wanted to show this to you. So if you download the Cromville, I think is how you say it, CHROMVILLE, if you download that app, and then you scan one of these trigger images that we have here. So if you just click on the website, then you can go to them as well. If you download those and print them off, then you'll be able to, what we want you guys to do is color them, decorate them, whatever. There's a writing prompt on the bottom. So this top one is about digital citizenship, and it wants you to create a writing project about why digital citizenship is necessary and what your students have learned about digital citizenship. And then the second one is all about having this little friend Dana collect things. So we want you to take those two ideas, and you can do both or you can just do one. But the challenge that we're going to give to you for Thursday is to create a writing, like a writing assignment or a prompt or something using those two trigger images, and then coming up with some ideas for your students. And the cool thing about these is that they are free. The app is also free, and you can really tweak it to fit your audience. So older kids or younger kids, you can have them do it with partners or do it by themselves. It all depends on what's going to work best for your kids, but you can kind of tweak it or differentiate it actually. Okay, so let's get back to the fun stuff. If I can get my app working, hold on just one second. Okay, so when you are going to use any augmented reality of any kind, basically you have two things. You have an app, and like I said, we're going to use AUGThat, and then you also have a trigger image. So when you scan the trigger image, crazy things happen. And I'm about to show you an example of that. So can you help me real quick, please? I have an assistant, but he doesn't really want to be doing this. So this is my example of my trigger image, and then what I'm going to do, and this is on the AUGThat app, is I'm going to just press start and make sure you allow access to the camera. So then you're going to scan the image, and then you're going to see a little, if you saw that there was a little red and green circle popping up, and that means that it's working. So I scan the image, and now you're able to see something come up off the page. So this is Connecticut. This is a map of Connecticut, and it kind of shows you where it is. So you can zoom in to get closer, and then you can also see a bunch of other different states as well. So this is just one example. I'm going to show you a couple of other ones real quick. Let me grab my other images. Alright, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can use this in your writing lessons. So I have here a couple different things. This is this image, and I hope it works because the color didn't come out too well, but we'll see. So this is going to be just an AR object, and then this one will actually put us in a 360 environment when we scan it. So again, I'm going to go back to the app, and then I'm going to press start, and then I'm going to scan my giraffe image. Okay, and then you can see, let's move it over here out of the mess there. So you can see there is actually an image or a 3D giraffe there. So you could show students, let's turn him around so that we don't see that side of him. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna scan it one more time. There we go, now we can see his face. So you can show students these kinds of things and have them do a research project on them, or what I really am excited about is taking this AR object and then putting it into a 360 environment. So I'm going to show you the 360 environment now. To start over, I always press back just to make sure that it's going to work properly. Okay, we got too many things going on here.
The images also work in black and white.
Oh, thank you. I've never tried it in black and white, so I like them in color because I think they're a little prettier. Okay, so I scanned my ocean scene here, and now when I scan it, then I'm actually put into a 360 environment. So I can go all the way around, I can go up, I can also see what's going on the floor below me. And as you can see, this one's really cool because it's got, you can't zoom, but it's got fish, and there are other things in here as well that you can, have your students talk about different, plants and different things that they would see in the ocean floor. So as far as a writing project goes, what you can do is you can actually take your AR object, and then you can take your 360 environment, and you can have them write about how this either relates to this, or you could have them do an imaginative story about a giraffe in the ocean, because that would be kind of interesting. I mean, you know, we want them to be using their imaginations, and that would be a great way to do it. So that's kind of how I see this working, by either taking an AR object and having them do a project on it, or a 360 environment, having them do like a research project or something on it. I mean, once you see these things and once you give them to your kids, they'll come up with tons of different ideas and ways they can use it too. But I kind of like to be creative and have them, you know, mix these two things that aren't supposed to be together and see what they come up with. All right, so that's basically it as far as the apps go and how all of that works. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of other things. Thank you. I wanted to show you guys a couple of other things that I had kind of typed up for us to see. So this is my, let me see here. These are some other ideas that I had. So you could have them do a persuasive infographic. For older kids, you could have them do one about, you know, saving wildlife in different locations around the world, or you could have them do a PSA about one of the video location, or the 360 video locations, or 360 environments, I guess is really how I should say it. You could have older kids do an essay, a social studies essay or a science essay on one of the objects, or even the 360 environment, or you can have them do a fictional story. You know, what is the problem that this character or this object runs into in their life? You know, how do they solve those problems? What's the plot of your story going to be? Who are the characters? What's the setting? So any ideas like that? I mean, you could do so many different things with it. And the other thing I wanted to show you guys really quickly was, because I know that some of you are probably like wondering how to get to these images, and let me see here. So I printed out a bunch of them, but they kind of came out. So let's see, I don't want that one right now. So I have a bunch of cards here for landmarks. I've also got a couple different, this is just one that I printed, but this is a 360 environment. There are a couple of other different, or there are tons of other AR objects, trigger images that you can print out. And I wanted to show you guys how to get to those, because hopefully some of you are wondering how to get your hands on this kind of thing. So if you go to the AUGThat website, now, again, this is just one resource that you can use for augmented reality. Cromville has a bunch of different things you can use. And then when you go back to that resources page that we'll be tweeting out for our Twitter chat Thursday, you'll be able to get to a bunch of other different resources and things like that as well. But if you go to the AUGThat page, because that's what we've been talking about, and then you click on Demo, then you're going to be able to see a couple of the different images that I've used, the trigger images that I've used. So there's one of the giraffe. There's also one of a seahorse, which people really like, and I think it's probably my favorite, honestly. And then there's also 360 experiences with Jurassic Park. This one's kind of crazy, but the boys really, really like this one. And then there's also the one on the ocean, which I showed you. And then another thing, and I meant to print one out, but for some reason they weren't downloading for me today. It's probably just my bad luck. But AUGThat also does a lot more besides just images, or not images, objects, 3D, or sorry, AR objects and 3D, or oh my goodness, 360 experiences. They also take these things that they create, that you create, that other people create, anybody who creates them in their AUGThat lab. So they actually have an AUGThat lab that you can get access to, and you can create AR images or put together some 360 experiences, and you can actually include them in lessons. So this is one that I wanted to share with you guys. if you go to the demo, again, this is at the bottom of the demo page. If you go to the very bottom and you click on it, then what you're going to see, okay, wait a second. Okay, so I need Adam or Tanza, if you guys could help me real quick, because I'm having a brain fart. How do I get to the actual, actually I can show you, but I'm going to need some help. How do they get to the actual lesson, like a lesson plan that you guys created? So they have, so they have lessons that they created. This one is all about fractions. And then if you go and you scan this image at the bottom, then what's going to come up is, yes, it says they have over 350 virtual experiences, 1,300 3D, and over 800 lessons. So this is one of the lessons that I was trying to show them. If you scan this with your AUGThat app, then what you're going to see is a video. Okay. You're going to see a video that will come up that will give them some hints on fractions. Like, hold on, let me see if I can get some help here. Okay. 1 second. Okay, Jason, can you help me real quick? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to scan this image and then how it works with the fractions real quick. Alright, so this is on the actual lesson that they created, and then I'm going to scan the image. And remember, this is on fractions. Oops. Okay, I can hear it.
If you had a pizza sliced into 4 slices, each slice would be a fraction of the whole pizza.
Try that one more time.
Fractions.
Okay.
A number that
So then a video will pop up about fractions so that the kids can... The kids can actually watch this video about fractions kind of as a quick reminder, and then they can go through and then they can do their worksheet as like their assessment piece. So I know that we are talking about writing, and that's kind of the focus of this particular okay, so I know writing is the focus of this particular Periscope and this week's Twitter chat, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how AUGThat works and let you know that there are, I think they said over 800 lessons, and I went through today and there are actually lots of lessons on writing. So they had one on revising, one on editing, one on planning. So yes, writing is available to you as far as the lessons goes. And if you guys are interested, I'm going to show you just a second the contact info again. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff I've shown you today, or if you want to know more about AUGThat, then you can get in contact with me, or you can message AUGThat on their own Twitter page, or you can email Lisa and she can give you guys some access to some of these different resources. So I'm going to show you one more time what the contact info is, and then even if you're re-watching this after it's over, don't hesitate to contact us, okay? This is, okay, and it goes grades K through 8. So this is the hashtag we're going to use for the Twitter chat, hashtag AR for Learning, and we do that every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, and then again every Tuesday we're going to be doing these Periscopes, and hopefully next time I'll be a little more prepared. It's at 6 p.m. Central on Tuesdays, and again this is the AUGThat, thank you. Today has been crazy. I've been running around trying to get back into the swing of things. So at AUGThat is on their Twitter handle. The website that we were looking at is www.augthat.com, and you can email Lisa at augthat.com as well. So I hope you guys will join us on Thursday for our a lot of participation in there, and a lot of new ideas are being shared by people joining in that I've never even thought about. So it's been a great place to get some really good resources. So I hope you guys will join us on Thursday, and if you have any questions at all, then you can use any of those resources and contact us. All right, see you guys later.